Hello everybody. We'll see if I can get this to work this time, my Facebook Live video. Last time I had no internet connection, so I'm going to play it by ear and see how this works. Welcome to my Facebook Live. I am Karina Chin with KarinasCreations.com, and I'm happy to have you probably watch this at a later date because I didn't tell anybody I was doing this, but I am always going to be trying to do a Facebook Live Tuesday at 1 o'clock for you. And I have a very fun project to share with you today. So let me just turn it down and we'll see if I can get this sort of straight. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Can you see this? This is my paper cup project video. Isn't it cute? So it's just done with cardstock and a little bit of stamping and scoring, and it's a really good size. Look how big this is. So this is, I used 2-inch by 8-inch cello bags, and I put hot chocolate and some peppermint marshmallows. I got these when I was in Orlando and brought them home because I'm a Canadian demonstrator and I can't find peppermint marshmallows anywhere. You guys, the Americans have the best treats for Christmas baking, I'm telling you. Anyway, that gets me very excited. Now this project, I just have to thank a friend of mine quickly. My friend Bilkis gave me this one for a little treat, and I was so excited I just had to go and make it. So look what she put in hers. So it fits, she put an after 8 hot chocolate package, and then a little chocolate and a candy cane. So just imagine all the fun little gifts that you can do with this. And she used the Frosted Floral Designer Series paper. I am going to be using today the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper because I believe it's going to be in stock. And before I start, I just wanted to mention something quick. Today there is still the online extravaganza today. If you're interested in ordering today or tomorrow, this is the hostess code I am using. And you can just go to my stamping store. If you go to my blog, there's a shop now or 24-hour shop now button, something like that. And then you can place your order. It's a 10% savings right now on tools and, can't think of it now. Tools for sure. And the envelope punch board is what we need to make this. The only thing that's not on there for sure is the Big Shot and the Stamparatus. But let's get started with this really fun project. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is I am using old olive cardstock. And I think the beauty of this project, maybe I'll just bring this in for you, is that it uses 1 sheet of cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11, so you don't have to do any funny cutting or anything like that. You could probably reduce the project to make mini paper cups, but I haven't figured that out yet. And I always make myself a little template. I'll put the scoring measurements and everything on this video, and especially on my blog today. So you don't have to worry about following my template. I always put this in a binder, and I've been doing this for 12 years. So sometimes I just like to pull my old projects out and see if I can make them better. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I mentioned this is 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of cardstock. And we need to make a few score lines. So I'm going to pull out my stamping trimmer. And I like the stamping trimmer because it's got a little foot. Can you see the little foot? And it's got a little stabilizer bar. So it doesn't wiggle and I can get really good score lines. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. It's a little dark here in Edmonton today. So I'm trying to work around the gloomy weather outside. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we're going to line it up and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And I love the paper trimmer because it has a scoring blade and a trimming blade on the same paper cutter. Okay, now after this is a bit of a trick. After your first score line, everything after that has to be 1 3/4 inches apart. So if you wanted to follow along with your cardstock, the next score line would then be 2 1/4, 4 inches, and this is all in inches, by the way, inches, 5 3/4, which is here, 7 1/2, and 9 1/4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 score lines basically. Now I'm just going to rotate my paper, line it up at the top, and this time I'm going to score it at 1.5 inches. There we go. And then 5.5 inches. Perfect. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we have to make a couple cut lines. So this 1/2 inch piece section that I've done here, this is sort of my tab where I'm going to be adding my adhesive. So there's should be 3 rectangles, and I'm just going to trim this part away. Your first rectangle gets totally cut off, but I'm just sort of making a nice little tab. So I've got somewhere to put my adhesive. And then we're just going to cut this off. I don't think I did a very good job cutting. I didn't really follow the score line. Wonder if it matters. Not really. I think we're just going to go with it. Okay, so now I have this, and I'm going to grab my handy dandy bone folder. And I'm just going to burnish all the score lines that I've made, and then I'll show you the next place we need to cut. Okay, I'm just going to fold this over and then fold this one over. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now you can see I have the 1.5 inch sort of rectangle by 1 3/4 here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 score lines. So I need to cut that in 5 places. So I'm just cutting along the score line, going to the very first score line. And then this is what's going to give your cup a nice shape. So it's got 6 sides. I'm too tired today to figure out what it is. I know it's not an octagon. I'm sure somebody will chime in and tell me what it is and help me out a little bit. Okay, and then this side, we need to fold this over. And I'm going over the score lines again because we have to put it in our envelope punch board. Now, do you own an envelope punch board? I love doing punch board projects. And it's also really handy if you ever make a fun card that doesn't fit into a standard size envelope. It's really easy to make envelopes when you have an envelope punch board. And luckily today it is 10% off. Now, another thing I'm doing for my customers too is, do you have a husband or a loved one who wants to buy you a present? They don't know what to get you. I'm sending all my customers a wish list, a Christmas Santa's wish list, so they can put ideas down, and then you just send me what you want on your wish list, and I'll make sure it gets ordered in, wrapped for your loved one to give to you, and it'll be sitting for you under the tree. Or if you want to wait till January, I will also do gift cards as well, so let me know if you're interested in that. Okay, so this is what the project looks like right now, and we have to get... Make sure I'm punching this on the right side. And then we have to get these little holes in our project. So when I first looked at this, I thought, how are we going to do this? And then that's when I remembered the fabulous envelope punch board. So this is what we are doing. So I am lining this up in here. Make sure I'm getting it right. And on the envelope punch board, there is kind of a little metal piece in here. And I am making sure that my score line, hopefully you can see this, is basically centered in this little metal circle piece. So it's basically you're lining this edge up at 1 3/4 inch. Now I'm just stopping myself for a minute because... you know what? I almost goofed up. You know what you have to do? You have to punch it through this way. Did you catch that? You got to fold it over. I just remember doing this last night. I just figured this out and thought, why is it a little hard to punch? Because I'm punching through 2 layers of cardstock. Oh my goodness. So again, you line this up 1 3/4, and then on this side, I kind of eyeball it, make sure it's in the center of that metal piece. So you can hear how it's going through 2 layers of cardstock. That's what we need. Now, this is going to be at a different place. Right now it's going to be at 3.5. Or again, I just eyeball it and make sure it's sort of centered. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's the bottom of your cup. So really it doesn't matter. Isn't this project easy? I think the hardest thing is watching me try to punch these out. Okay, now I'm off my punch board, so now I'm just winging it, you guys. Just kind of playing along to check it out. Okay, and then we have one more. There we go. This is the last one. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we'll get these little things out of here because I got a very messy station. Okay, so we'll set our envelope punch board aside. And this is what we got. So let's start putting this wonderful little box together. Now, I think before I do that, I'm just going to decorate the main part of it. So this is what you need to decorate your little box. Got some pieces cut out already. And like I said before, the designer series paper that I am using is called Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper. It's got a whole bunch of nice patterns. And this was 1 1/4 by 3 3/8. Why 3 3/8? Because 3.5 was just a smidge too long and I didn't like it. So let's get my, you know what, I don't need mono multi glue. I'll just use my snail adhesive to put this on. If anybody needs snail, I will be doing a snail order. And you get it for a really good deal. I usually get them for around $5 because I share my hostess benefit with everybody. So if you need some snail adhesive, let me know. I'm going to be putting in another order. I do this whenever I'm running out. I go through a lot of snail adhesive. I love it because it's easy to work with. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay, there we go. So I think I'm going to be doing this. We have a team shoebox swap coming up. My team is called Crafting Crew. And a shoebox swap, we have to make basically cut the pieces to make a card, and then you teach everybody how to make your card. So I thought this might be a really fun project for everybody to have to do, even though it's not a card. I just need a lot of little giftables, little gifty things for neighbors and friends who pop by. And I'm going to go and buy some hot chocolate packets, and I think maybe I'll have a few bottles of mini Baileys in there because, you know, hot chocolate and Baileys, wouldn't that be delicious? Okay, so what do you think? Are you impressed yet? That's what it looks like so far. And then on this little flap, I'm going to put some tear and tape adhesive, and I'll kind of show you how this is going to work too. This flap actually folds into the box. Well, into my cup. Cup slash could be a box, in a way. Okay, let's take that off. Oops, missed that. This is where I need my take your pick tool. Wonder if that's on sale today. Okay, now, so this is going to get folded over, and this just reinforces your cup so it's not too flimsy. And then can you see how this is going? So this little flap, I'm putting inside this little piece here. And then we'll close it up like so. I'm just trying to get it not to stick to itself. I want it to look pretty, because it's going to go to one of my friends. Okay, let's just put that down. Oh, and I see Sandra found me. Sandra's watching. Yay, hello, Sandra. Okay, so now you've got these little flappy pieces. This is the inside of my cup. And watch this. Look how nicely that folds. Now, if you want, you could add adhesive to hold it down, but I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. So instead, I am getting out my 2 1/4 inch circle punch. and I'm going to punch 2 circles. And again, I'm just using old olive cardstock. So we'll do 1. And I don't know if punches are on sales today or not. I really have not looked at the sale personally, just because I bought so much stuff the other day. I went a little crazy on paper. Now you could use tear and tape adhesive as well. I'm just using the liquid glue, and you do want something a little bit stronger because this is going to hold the shape of your box in place. Or your box, your cup. I keep calling it a box. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over carefully because it takes a minute for this to dry. There we go. And then I'm also going to put the second one, the second circle, on the inside of my cup. There we go. And then once I know Facebook Live is working again, I'll start telling people I'm doing it. Okay, what do you think? Isn't that cute? And look how much it's going to fill. So it could be a tumbler, but I really wanted a cup. So this is what I did. I took a piece of cardstock and I cut it down to 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And then I'm just going to curl it a little bit here, and I'm grabbing a stapler. Let's see where I want this. Where is my, see, I can barely tell where my box joined. Okay, right here. So we're going to put this here, and what I did is I just stapled it. If you've got a brad, you can use a brad. Use whatever you want. I just thought I don't want my handle falling off. Okay, this is where it might have been really, really good to look at that. I should have done it before I put my cup together. Okay, this is now a what not to do video, you guys. Because now I've got this on. Okay, watch this. You know, sometimes people stamp with me and I always tell them, don't worry, you can never screw up, or it's fixable. Look at this, it's fixable. Let's see if I can get in there this way. Okay, so tip of the day, put your staple in. Oh, look, that'll be just fine. Ta-da! Okay, and because, oh, it's a good thing I use liquid glue, because it's the bottom and nobody's going to see that. So let me just use my muscles here, squish that circle down. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, because this doesn't look so attractive, what I did was cut another piece to go over top, and this one is 1/2 inch by, again, 5 inches, but I know it's too long, but you know what? That is perfectly fine. There we go. Okay. So you could actually make a bunch of these pretty quickly, and I think they would make amazing gifts. Especially like the put some Baileys in it idea. The reason I'm cutting this after is because depending on where my staple is going to go, every piece is going to be a little different. Okay, there we go. Now it looks super cute, but we need to do a little decorating. Let me move my hostess coat out of the way. And to decorate the box, I decided to use a stamp set called Flourish Filigree. It's just got some nice sayings. It's good for just if you're thankful, if you got some friends. I'm sure everybody's got a nice friend. And I've already mounted it on a block. You'll notice I don't have my label on it. But you know what, guys? We're getting some new, a new type of stamp coming out called Cling Mount. And you will have to put your label on because they do stick to the blocks. Okay, got my old olive ink pad. I'm just going to stamp my greeting that says Happy Christmas. I notice it's not very dark. That means I have to re-ink my ink pads. I wonder if re-inkers are on sale. That was probably yesterday. Okay, and now the one fun thing is that we have a punch called, what's it called? Pretty Label Punch, and it works with a few stamp sets in the annual catalog, and it also works with this one, the Flourish Filigree, and you can just punch it out. So I love it when I can make really quick, cute labels. Now, what I'm doing here is I just cut a strip of 1/2 inch real red cardstock, and I'm going to show you what I did here. I really do eyeball things. My projects are never perfect. And you know what? That's the fun of it. I'm getting my tailored tag punch. Sorry guys, I forgot to bring it. So you don't have to use a tailored tag punch. This is my favorite punch. I just love it because look, I can make perfect little, I don't know what you call these. Not a banner shape. It'll come to me later. So you can use your scissors. You just start from the middle like that and then cut from each side. But really, why wouldn't you just want the tailored tag punch? It saves time. Okay, there's that. Now it needs a little bit of bling. So somewhere I have silver mini sequins. So let's grab a little bit of that. I'm just going to put it like this. And again, you can staple it if you want. I'm just going to use a little bit of tear and tape adhesive. You can use a glue dot. This is handy though. And it's close by. So that's cute. And then my final step, like I said, I have 2 steps left. I'm going to open up, this is a clear mount case that I like to store all my embellishments in. And I'm just going to get one of these red rhinestones. Isn't that pretty? And we'll get a second one. And then I need 2 stamping dimensionals for the back of my little sentiment. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just put this, so you can put this anywhere, put it on the front if you want. I think maybe this one, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, what do you guys think? So we have our cute little greeting, we have a nice little box. This is big enough, fits my whole hand. You can even put, oh, wouldn't socks be cute in this? Some really good coffee socks. Oh, I'm just getting so many ideas. I'm starting to Christmas shop. Now I'm excited. Okay, so this is my project. Now, can you see how this is lifting up? I forgot to put snail adhesive at the end, so instead I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue. Like I said, everything is fixable. You just have to go back in sometimes and improve the project a little bit. Okay, so there's my cute little cup. You have the instructions on my blog today. I put a picture of the cup, and I think I'm going to go in and redo that with the scoring measurements on the project. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you ever want to stamp with me, I would love to have you over, do a private party for you. Have an amazing day. Bye.